Mañana me voy para México, entonces a Texas. This morning I'm leaving from Mexico City, then on to Texas. It's a time of change in my life, a time of transition. I don't know for sure when I'll be back to Oaxaca. Huki's being taken care of by Selene, my landlord, and her family. But I'll surely miss her. And I have things to attend to in the States. It all will sort itself out, but right now the future's not exactly clear. I'm leaving this morning with a lot of love in my heart for Oaxaca.
I rode down the mountain in a careening bus which threatened to throw my things out onto the road with each enormous bump. You never feel more vulnerable than when you're on the road with all your possessions away from the safety of home.
I don't know how I did it, but I made it here to the barrio estación. Now I'm just waiting for my bus. It was a tough ride down the mountain with all my luggage, but I'm on my way. Mexico hasta Dallas.
Sitting in the terminal, eating an early morning sandwich, I saw that it was way more crowded than usual. There were the typical travelers, indigenous people, families from the pueblos, and new ones who looked to be migrants from Central and South America.
Grabbing a sandwich in the station, because I don't know when we'll get food on the bus.
A veces es necesario para salir desde lo que es familiar, para encontrar algo nuevo. I watched those streets of Oaxaca City, which I'd walked for the past year and a half, pass by before my eyes, giving way to the immense spectacle of this wondrous land. It called up memories of other trips, along washed-out roads and high mountain passes, to the Costa Chica, the Oaxacan coast. Trips that show me firsthand the savage beauty of Oaxaca and the efforts of its people to construct a livable space along its rugged terrain. Recordé las alturas de las sierras. I remember the high mountain villages. Here, the air is crisp and fresh, and the work simple and purposeful. Tending to boiling wood-fired pots of consommé, and the workers at roadside comidas prepare delicious meals.
Acá en las montañas, you can see the fog all around. I don't know how high we are up in the mountains, but it feels super fresh.
The memory of meats sizzling on the comal gave way to images of a different order of civilization. The gondolas of the cable cars, signaling our entrance to the outer edges of that other great place. The massive geographical entity known as la Ciudad de México, Mexico City, or just Mexico. Its endless and stressed highway interchanges, metro trains, and gleaming buildings rising up along Paseo de la Reforma. Yet even here I saw signs, like the camionetas loaded with produce, which reminded me of those verdant lands I had just left behind, where people worked in earnest on the land.
¿Estás preparando el terreno para las plantas?
Sí, para nuevas plantas.
¿Hay frijol?
Maíz.
Maíz.
Oh, sí.
Ah, qué bueno.
Ajá.
Where the daily chores of cleaning, cooking the meals, and washing the clothes occupied the day's activities. Donde caminé bajando de la montaña, where I walked down the mountain to find fresh produce for my meals. Where the rainy season brought torrential downpours, which forced one to pause to wait it out.
I came down to the center riding on the bus and jumped off, started walking down the side street, and almost immediately the storm came. Luckily I was able to find a shelter here under an awning on the sidewalk along with a few other people. It's really coming down, and lightning too. So hopefully it'll blow over soon and I can get back to my activities.
When the rain stops, I get back to walking on the streets of my barrio, con huki, passing amongst the layers and textures there on the street. Mi perrita, ella le gusta este ambiente. Huki likes this environment here on the edge of the city. And I do too. This life in an adobe cabin in Oaxaca. But for now, I find myself on a bus taking me across this wondrous landscape. First to Mexico City, and then on to Texas, to adventures I know not what. And I can hope to carry me back once more to this beautiful land I call home.